So we are in a very interesting week, actually, from an astrological point of view. Well, let's start with the fact that we're in the portion of Chayei. Okay, we're in the portion of Chayei. But I actually want to start a little bit with astrology today because I'm excited about it because there's so many things that we were waiting for them all year actually come to end, and we know that every end is a new beginning. And we know we started that year with the conjunction between Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn, and then Jupiter joined them. And those all three planets that during the year I always call them the COVID planet or the pandemic planet, all three of them that walked alone the entire year together. And each and every one of them is a planet of transformation, a planet of karma, a planet of expansion. So these are not small planets that created changes in the world, in the universe. Everything, the world that we knew a year ago is not the world that we know today. And everything is changing. Those three planets traveled the whole year together. And now we're coming to a time that slowly they are going to separate from one another. Starting with the fact that Jupiter and Pluto for the third time are together this week. Actually started last week because they're very slow planets. So today they're actually aligned, but for the whole last week and few more days, they are together. They met together on April, and they met again in June, and now they're meeting for the last time because they're going back and forward. So they meet, they move, they meet again, they're backwards, they move, and now, they're on again and they're coming together. Jupiter is a planet of transformation. We all know that. It's the ruler of Scorpio. We are in the month of Scorpio, so that's a very, very important month. Usually the month of Scorpio is a month that we are moving forward with. We do some transformation when we reveal more things about ourselves, about our people, about life. And this month, because Pluto is conjunct Jupiter, everything is more intense, is bigger, is stronger. And usually when Jupiter and Pluto comes together, it can bring on one hand a lot of abundance and a lot of everything. On a good side, we want to think that it brings abundance, it brings new idea, it brings us to a place that we can feel confidence, that we can increase desire, that we are more clear about what we want, especially when it's in Capricorn. We are clear about our goals and what do we want, and we are having the energy to go and get it. Okay, here we are again. So they're doing their last meeting together today, and it means that things from now on, Jupiter will continue to move forward. Saturn will continue to move forward. They're going to leave Pluto kind of behind, but that's all stellium of Capricorn is about to go. And another thing that happened, in June, Mars went into Aries, and in September he went retrograde, and then we felt like everything is stopped. We've been put in our homes again. I don't know, I guess another, how do you call it, quarantine. And now finally on Friday, tomorrow, that Mars is out of retrograde. So every major thing that happened along this year is about to end. And we're starting to go through that energy to December, to the great conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius, which means different consciousness. It's different consciousness. I'm not saying that things will change and pandemic will suddenly disappear, but different consciousness, which is the consciousness of Aquarius, which rules by planet Uranus. Uranus is a planet of crown chakra. The age of Aquarius is the time of Messiah. It's the time of redemption. It's the time that we are stop being slaves. Now, of course, we all have free will. If we're going to choose to go our way the way it was, nobody will stop us. But the energy, the things that we don't see, is opening up. It's another level of opening up. We had this week the death anniversary of Rabbi Avraham Azulai, which was talking about immortality, and we can see later on how the portion of Chayei Sarah connect to immortality. But he says that from September 1999, when we entered to the age of Aquarius, already the energy of Aquarius is ruling, and we can practice literally mind over matter, and we see how since then technology went like woof so fast, and technology, like I always said, it's always an indication of no time, space, and motion, because I can be with you in the same room, and there's no really limitation of space, right, and time, because you can watch it after as well. And the more we're going to go into this great conjunction, there will be another layer of Aquarius, and then in 2024, when Pluto is going to go in Aquarius, there's going to be another one. So we are totally in the age of Aquarius. We had to break patterns, though, because the last year that we had was about Capricorn. It was about structure. It was about who am I supposed to be versus who I want to be. And for those of us who was very tuned this year and really follow along with the energy of where the universe wanted to take us, today they can stand and say, you know what, I'm not the same person that I was in January 2020. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about my desires. I learned about what's real in my life, and they're still constantly learning. But the energy is definitely shifting. We also will have on Sunday the new moon. On Monday night, we're going to have the Kabbalistic new moon of Sagittarius. On Monday, we're going to have the sun and moon conjunct into the sign of Scorpio. And again, sun and moon in Scorpio, very powerful. They're going to square Venus. Venus is in... where is Venus? Venus is in Libra, right? Venus is in Libra. So that Venus in Libra is squaring that Pluto and the ruler of Scorpio, and it's about really intensity and deeper and deeper and deeper. But the deeper we are going and the more we are willing to expose, the higher we are going with our consciousness, the less attached we are in this world. So we're going to have the new moon this week. Mercury is going back to Scorpio. So you see Scorpio now is really, really in the picture. And when we are moving into next level, next phase, of course we can decide that we want to stay the same. And it's really all about how do we see life. And we spoke about it a lot. And when we're talking about a higher level of consciousness, when we're talking about Aquarius is energy of all one. We can totally have different opinion. And we need to know what's important to me if I want to find my soulmate. And this week, by the way, it's also energy of soulmate. And Venus and Pluto together is also energy of soulmate, because Venus is love, right? And Pluto is also the two signs that rules relationship. It's actually Libra and Scorpio, and they're both together in the sky. So do I want to find someone who's going to have the same opinion like I have, or I want to have someone that I have soul connection with? And these are the things that I say that we need to ask ourselves deep questions. What is really important to us? And many times we see that we're stuck on things that it doesn't really matter. You can live in the same household and you both can vote to another person, but you can both have human dignity to each other and love to each other and care for each other, and you're both going to be able to do great things together. many times we don't see the small things that are blocking us because we want things to go exactly our way. And if we want to tap into that energy of Aquarius, into that energy of mind over matter, we need to think mind over matter. And that's the energy of Sarah. The energy of Sarah, Chayei Sarah, the portion called Chayei Sarah, the life of Sarah, when you're really talking about the death of Sarah. But the whole idea of that there is no death to Sarah. And there's many stories, beautiful stories in this portion, and each and every one of them is so deep and so profound. So what I want to say more about astrology, and we go back to astrology, in different times, but to know that we are going, through this year, we are shifting energy. We are shifting energy from Capricorn with Mars in Aries. Aries go direct. And by the way, now when Aries go direct, when you have someone, I don't know, in jail or quarantine, we're all in jail, right? So if you quarantine for so long and suddenly they open the door and you feel, oh my God, I can go to the ocean, I can breathe air, I can do it. And we feel like, oh my God, it's time to go. It's beautiful. It's time to go. But let's not forget the lesson that we learned in the last year, because it is time for change, and it is time to move forward, and it is time to try something else and moving forward. But always remember, consciousness. We want to have in life what we want to have in life. Are we coming from a place of the center column, or are we coming from a place of the desire for the self alone? Always remember, so I can move forward, but with every moving forward, I want to make sure that I'm really connecting to something that is true. And every time that I say true, in Hebrew, it's called emet, Torat emet. The Torah is true. So when we say true, it means the true essence of who we are as human beings. Sarah lived this life. Sarah, 127 years, she lived a full life. Every day was fulfilled because Sarah agreed, the soul, to come to this world to build foundation. But the true desire of Sarah was to be with the Creator, to be in the upper world. Sarah had the energy of Binah, but every day she was a person who influenced and not being influenced. And that was her essence. And that's why she managed to do so many things. And the reincarnation of Sarah is Esther, and Esther, was in the time of Achashverosh. Achashverosh ruled 127 kingdom, exactly the same years. Sarah lived 127 years, and Esther was able to bring the redemption, and not to have, the destruction that meant to be. Okay, the Zohar is going to many more secrets about it, but here it says, the moment a person is going to bed and is going to sleep, every night and night, every night and night, his soul leaving the body and go up, and she is being judged. Okay? If it's been decided that he deserves another day, then he comes back to earth. So every day that we are coming back, we're waking up in the morning, we know that we still need to connect to our essence. And he's continuing saying here that the person is not being judged of things that he's going to do in the future or things that he did in the past, only by that day. And the fact that we are going back every day, it's because we did do something in the previous day that is allowing us to come today. So on one hand, never really lose hope. And as long as we're here, We still do, we still connect, we still can influence, we still have a different to do in this world. And it's not being judged by even the future. And the story about Ishmael, I'll tell you after, that has to do with this as well. Okay. And that was it all says here in the Zohar because of the energy of Sarah, and that we can all gain from her. What we can gain from Sarah, that every day counts. She lived full life, 100 like a 20 and a 20 like a 7. I'm going to read you something from the Rav. It says, people could not bear the change. And the rabbis ask, which change? Change of nature into miracle. Because the Rav is saying that people, I don't know, before 200 years, if they told them about electricity and internet, they will think that you're crazy, right? So today, when you're talking with people about immortality, which is the energy of Aquarius, then we can think that we're crazy. And people don't like the change. That's why when Messiah will come, they will try to kill him, because he's going to come with idea like totally out of the box, that souls can talk to each other, that Abraham, that is still alive, can talk to Sarah, that she's already dead, and tell her, go bring Chava back into the cave. Okay, so it could look like totally not logic to us, but in a real world, there's no problem. There is no limitation whatsoever. And that's the energy of immortality, that there is really no limitation. Okay, and we can see the divine. But the Rav said, like what I just read here, right? People, they don't like the change. They don't want to change. People, if you tell people that they can change all the chaos into a place of rejuvenation, they won't be able to see it. Nobody will see the Rav saying, nobody believe that, God forbid, someone will lose an arm and that arm will grow. That's the energy of Aquarius, and I'm telling it to you, and I'm telling it to me every day. That every time, like, I'm worried and I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm like, guys, we have to connect to energy of immortality. It cannot be that we connect to that limited thoughts, because the universe is really going to reveal a lot of that energy, and that energy is very, very available. It's only us. Are we willing to connect to it, or we want to stay right? We want to maintain our opinion. We want to maintain only the way we see. We're going to do things just the way we see it, and we're not going to be open to see other people's opinions or study that we don't agree with. We need to be open to everything. Even things that we don't see in any way. At least to have that opening that says, I'm open to see that I'm not right. I'm just open. I'm not saying I don't have to change my mind right now, but I'm open to see that maybe I'm not right. And if I'm open, then divine inspiration will come. Another beautiful thing in this portion, in the Zohar, is actually, how Abraham is buying the cave of Machpelah for Sarah. Eventually, all the fathers and the mothers, beside Rachel, will be buried there. But how is he buying it? He's buying it to Sarah. And let's see how Abraham is working, the thought process and the action process of Abraham, and how is he doing it. בשעה שנכנס אברהם במערה, איך הוא נכנס? When did Abraham came actually to the cave and to see? Remember the angels, right? From the portion of Vayera from last week. Remember, he offered them water and bread, and they say yes, and he went and he ran after a sheep to have meat. And that little sheep, she ran away, and he chased her. Remember, he was 99 years old, and he was chasing, and that sheep ran into the cave. So he went to grab her, and then he saw great light coming out of this cave. And then he saw Adam. Okay, and then he realized that Adam and Eve is buried in that cave. So when he saw that, he knew that that's it, that's the cave, right? But then Sarah was still alive. Okay, so first of all, how things is being revealed to us by mistake. When we really connect to our essence, and if we really connect to our truth, and we are working from a energy of desire from the center column and not desire for the self alone, then things is being revealed to us just randomly like that. I'm doing an act of sharing. I'm going to make meal for someone else. And because I did that, something is being revealed to me. Okay, so when we are achieving our purpose, which is desire to influence and not to be influenced, and we don't forget that the reason why we're here, then things will constantly be revealed to us. Okay, and then after he saw it, so immediately, he saw Adam, and Eve in that cave. He knew this is a holy place. And by the way, the opening of heaven is also there in the cave of Machpelah, that souls are coming and going from that place. It's a holy place. What would you do? You would see a great real estate deal. What were they going to do? Come on, let's put an offer. Let's take it right now. Oh my God, I hope nobody else will take it, right? And now we are in anxiety because we want to reveal that, because we don't want to lose the deal. Abraham saw it, and he was like, he waited. He didn't do anything until Sarah passed away. Because Abraham, he wasn't reactive. He knew that whatever belongs to him, belongs to him. And he knew that this is a holy place. He knew that place belonged to him. And he was, here, I was waiting for it. Okay. And he just waited, When Avram went to the cave for the first time, he saw the light, okay? And then he knew that he needs to bury there, but he didn't do anything in that moment. Okay, it's all in the Zohar. When Sarah passed away, he went to Ephron, and he asked to buy the cave of Machpelah. And Ephron said to him, you should take it for free. And Abraham, no, I don't want to take it for free. I want to pay full money for it. Full money for it. Because we learned that there is nothing in life that is actually free. And if we need to pay for something, we better pay with money, because everything that is not money is more expensive. Sometimes, someone wants to do me a favor, and me and with all my Aquarius, I hate favors. But, in a way, that if someone is doing you a favor and then he comes to claim, it can be more expensive than money. Okay? So money is the easiest way to pay for things. Even if I'm not talking from above, even if we struggle, it's still the cheapest way to pay for things. Anyway, Ephron, it says in the Zohar, בואו ראה, אם עפרון היה רואה במערה מה שהיה ראה באברהם, לא היה מוכר אותה לעולם. If Ephron would see in the cave what Abraham saw in the cave, he would never, ever sell it for any money in the world. And this is, every time I'm waiting for the portion of Chayei Sarah, just to see this part. Because I don't know, for me in my life it's touching me, and I talk about it every year. Whatever belongs to us belongs to us. Ephron couldn't see the light in the cave because the cave did not belong to him. Avram was able to see the light in the cave because the cave belonged to him. So to go after, to chase, to worry, I'm going to win that real estate property. I'm not going to win that real estate property. I'm going to win that work. I'm not going to win that work. I'm going to win that soulmate. I'm not going to win that soulmate. That soulmate is already meant for you. If it meant to you, you will have it. And if not, not. So the worry and the anxiety, easy said than done. But the worry and the anxiety doesn't have place, because the moment we're worried and we have anxiety and we have to have it and we don't take no for an answer, so we're trying to control and we're trying to manipulate, and then we are close to other people's opinion because we're afraid to get hurt. I mean, there's always some emotional coming with it, right? But if we understand that in creation everything is accurate and whatever belongs to us, then there's no room for all of this. There's no room for all of this. And every time we go through chaos, that's one thing we want to remind ourselves, that whatever belongs to us, belongs to us. How many times you see women or men trying to manipulate, get someone, and then someone else is getting them? And you tried everything, because with logic, you tried everything to get that person. But logic doesn't work in the spiritual world. People that are so brilliant, they're working for someone else, doing accounting, doing, I don't know. I meet a lot of people like that. And people that, not necessarily the smartest people on earth, so successful. There's no logic into things. If we only work by logic, we lose a lot. We work with our limited five senses. And but if we really work with the light, when we want to see beyond it, that's the energy of Aquarius that is coming our way, that already started in 1999 and coming second phase and third phase to our life. And we really want to see that we see beyond that. And one of the way to see beyond that is to really know that whatever belongs to us, belongs to us.